Hi folks, welcome back to our channel where we give you all the tips and tricks for all your remodeling needs. I'm Joe Ferranti Gennaro.
And I'm Delina. And today we want to learn a little bit about load-bearing walls.
Okay.
So recently I was thinking about having a renovation, and I was trying to figure out what walls that I could take out in my home. And so I was going around and knocking on them and trying to figure out which one was hollow that I could remove. So can you teach me how to tell if I have a load-bearing wall?
Yes. Knocking on the wall doesn't work.
This is hollow.
No, so every wall has studs in it and there's gaps between the studs. And if you knock between the studs, it's going to sound hollow. So a load-bearing wall will sound pretty much exactly the same way as a non-load-bearing wall.
So my technique is not the way to determine.
I would say it's one of the most common things that happens when I go into a house. Someone says, we want to redo our kitchen, we want to do some remodeling, and we want to take this wall out, and they knock on the wall and they go, see, it's hollow, it doesn't have any load-bearing to it. So that's not how we determine if a wall is load-bearing. A lot of it is experience, where we look at, is the house two-story or not? Okay, if there's a floor above the downstairs, it's probably load-bearing. Way higher chance, probably 80-90% of the walls downstairs are load-bearing. So that's something we'd have to explore by maybe cutting holes in the ceiling and looking. If it's a one-story house and it was built after like 1960 something, built in the 70s, 80s, the trusses were installed for roofing systems from that time forward. And usually a house with trusses, the outside, in Tampa, Florida, the outside walls are load-bearing, maybe the garage wall, and the rest of the walls are partition walls, which is what people are knocking on the wall and saying it sounds hollow, like it's a partition wall. But the stud spacing is exactly the same. So there's really no way to tell by knocking on the wall. So in a house with trusses, I would get up in the attic and look and see which way the trusses are running. I would be looking to see if the trusses end over top of that wall or not, to tell me if it's a load-bearing wall. Most walls can be taken out. It's just, what is the cost versus value of that? Like to open up a room, you're taking out a wall, the cost of that, is it benefit by, you want a great room design, which a lot of people like.
So you can definitely remove a load-bearing wall?
You can usually remove a load-bearing wall, but you have to put something in its place.
Okay.
So there's also what we call like a drop header or a recessed beam. So there's two different costs on those. You're recessing something up in the ceiling. That's usually, generally speaking, more expensive than dropping a beam below the ceiling. So it just depends on the look you're going for and how the house is laid out, which one we can do.
Makes sense.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and you can go to tampakitchenandbath.com for more information.
Bye.